Hello everybody and welcome to Shadow Labs, where we're going to be talking about Isla Sorna today. And as you can see from all the research behind me, we're well invested, ready for Jurassic World Dominion and Camp Cretaceous. So the questions we're going to ask today is, what is Isla Sorna? Are there any dinosaurs left on Isla Sorna? What is its current state? Is there a Spinosaurus on Isla Sorna? And will it show up in Jurassic World Dominion and Camp Cretaceous? So we're going to take a look now. So what is Isla Sorna? Isla Sorna, or Site B as it was called by InGen, is basically the factory floor where dinosaurs were cloned in various facilities InGen built on the island. The dinosaurs were nursed in temporary cages until they were fit to be transported to Jurassic Park on Isla Nublar, which is 87 miles east of Isla Sorna. After Hurricane Clarissa hit the island, all personnel were evacuated from the island and the facilities were later abandoned. However, before they left, InGen personnel unlocked all the cages so that the dinosaurs could have a better chance of surviving the storm. Within a few years, the dinosaurs took over the island and established a fully functional ecosystem. The island's climate as such is very bizarre. In the day it can be tropical on parts of the island where it's extremely warm, luscious tropical forests, but on the other side it is redwoods and can be quite cold in the night, cold enough to see one's breath. The island itself has various mountain ranges and beaches, along with lots of rivers and canyons scattered throughout this huge island. After the evacuation of Isla Sorna, the dinosaurs were freed and left to take care of themselves, but in 1997, a team was sent by the new InGen to capture the dinosaurs on Isla Sorna and bring them back to the mainland to create a new Jurassic World showcase on the mainland in San Diego. Various dinosaurs were captured for this showcase, but only one was transported over to the mainland, which was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which later escapes, which then gets returned to Isla Sorna. After this incident, Isla Sorna is declared a restricted zone by both the US and Costa Rican governments, whilst they decide what they're going to do with the island. In 1998, Isla Sorna is purchased by Masrani Global along with Isla Nublar in the hopes of revitalising the dream of John Hammond and creating a new Jurassic Park, but to be called Jurassic World. In that same year, in 1998, a small team of scientists from InGen illegally landed on Isla Sorna against the 1997 Gene Guard Act and began processing cloning of new species of dinosaur, which were never on InGen's list, later to be experimented on. This includes the Ankylosaurus, the Ceratosaurus, Kytherosaurus, and the Spinosaurus, all which were left abandoned on that island to wreak havoc on the already established natural ecosystem. Whether or not Mr. Simon Masrani, the CEO of Masrani Global, was aware of this at the time is yet to be discovered. As we just said, Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna were purchased by the Masrani Global Corporation with the intention to create a new theme park on Nublar. Jurassic World, despite major focus into the first island building a new park, there was still regular contact and operations on Isla Sorna. By 2004, the company had regularly been bringing dinosaurs from Isla Sorna to inhabit the new park. Animals were quarantined for a period of time to acclimate them to the new environment before transferring into their new paddocks. Usually this would be herbivores, but on occasion they would bring carnivores. It is currently unknown if they captured every single dinosaur available on Isla Sorna. So that's the brief history of Isla Sorna. Now the question has to be asked, are there any dinosaurs left on Isla Sorna in this current period? So if we think back, all the dinosaurs were originally released after they evacuated the island back in 1993. So the people let all the dinosaurs out, they're all then let loose on the island and they're currently free. In 1998, a group of scientists came, they then made the Spinosaurus, the Ceratosaurus, the Ankylosaurus, and one other species. They then leave the island 9 months later after conducting their experiments, and again these dinosaurs are left out in the open. In 2004, Masrani Global had near enough purchased Isla Nublar, they purchased Isla Sorna, and they'd begun their operations to take all the dinosaurs from Isla Sorna and transport them to Jurassic World for the opening. This is in 2004. So they had their list of all the known dinosaurs at that current time. Now obviously they're going to take all the surviving dinosaurs they know of. Obviously the original dinosaurs will have an implant for tracking purposes, but as we know, these dinosaurs would have bred, there's mutations, there could be all kinds of different species now of dinosaur on the island, and it'd be near enough impossible to say categorically that they have taken every single species of dinosaur off Isla Sorna. So it's safe to say at this point in time, after Jurassic World has fallen apart, Fallen Kingdom has taken place, it's probably safe to say now at this point in time there are more than likely still dinosaurs on Isla Sorna, because it's impossible to say that there isn't, because there is no way for them to tell. Now obviously they could have used thermal imaging cameras over Isla Sorna, but again that is very difficult to tell with all the fauna around the flora. It'd be very difficult to say yes they're all taken off the island or no they haven't been taken off the island. So at this point in time it's unknown if there are dinosaurs still on the island.
So what actually happened to the Spinosaurus after the events of Isla Sorna? We know that the Spinosaurus was cloned illegally before the Gene Act by InGen scientists and was actually a genetic experiment. Mechanically speaking, we don't have any information about the Spinosaurus. Most of the fandom believe that the animal was destroyed when Masrani Corporation returned to Isla Sorna to collect dinosaurs for Jurassic World. Based on its super aggressive behaviour and its super predatory nature, some people think that the Spinosaurus would have even forced some of the other dinosaurs into re-extinction on the island. A few people believe that the Spinosaurus was actually captured and taken to Jurassic World and later died, hence the skeleton when Rexy smashes through. This is not canonically correct because the skeleton which Rexy smashes leaves the head and the top part of the torso intact, and if you look at that, that is actually a correct Spinosaurus variant, with the snout and teeth being completely different to the Spinosaurus we see in Jurassic Park 3, the original Isla Sorna Spinosaurus, so that cannot be the skeleton of the original Spinosaurid. However, listen to this theory. It is presumed extinct currently due to information from the Dinosaur Protection Group website. However, because the articles are so ambiguous, it led some fans believing there could be life on Isla Sorna. The prequel novel, The Evolution of Clay, somewhat collaborates this when Isla Sorna is brought up in an early conversation between Clay and Masrani. Clay asks what is going on with Sorna, and Masrani basically said the island had a stable ecosystem, but poaching is still a persistent problem. This was in the 2004 universe, during the later portion of Jurassic World's construction. If Masrani is believed, and you take the DPG reports at face value, it would mean a huge population of dinosaurs died just in 2004 alone, which sounds incredibly hard to believe. An approach I have seen in the fan base, and one I personally take, is that Isla Sorna does have dinosaurs on it, and the DPG misled, perhaps not maliciously, the general public in order to further their cause to rescue the dinosaurs on Isla Nublar. If the public knew Sorna still had plenty of dinosaurs, why would they care all that much for the population on Nublar if it was wiped out? There's another island full of them is probably the common answer the DPG would get, in my opinion. So, to the answer what happened to the Spinosaurus is inconclusive. We have very little evidence to say it did in fact die, and we have little evidence to say that it is still alive. So it could be either one. My personal take is the fact that the Spinosaurus is indeed still alive on Isla Sorna with this ecosystem.
That is all the current research we have on the Spinosaurus. Now the question again has to be asked, is Isla Sorna currently being used? Now, it's still owned by Masrani Global and is still currently abandoned / restricted in current time period after Fallen Kingdom. So it's hard to say if it's still being used. Now, we're led to believe it isn't being used as such, but who's to say they're not currently on Isla Sorna conducting more illegal experiments, just like they did in 1998 with the group of scientists which went to the island and made the Spinosaurus and the Anki, again, all illegally, when they had the Gene Act in place. There is no longer a Gene Act in place, So they could quite easily be on Isla Sorna right now, creating new types of military versions of the hybrids, such as the Endoraptor, because that was the original plan. So, is it currently still being used? Unknown. All we know is that it's restricted / abandoned. My guess would be it is currently going to be used, or is being used. So if it were to be used, what is its current state? How could they use it? And what do we know currently is still surviving on Isla Sorna in regards to buildings, etc. So we know that there's still the giant aviary there, which housed the mutated pteranodons, because the pteranodons which were first created were actually mutated and were not correct. So that building is still there. The giant aviary is still there. The worker village is still there. We know, which housed all the original employees. All their artifacts are still going to be there. The embryonics labs are still there, where they cloned all the dinosaurs. The administration is still there. All that equipment is still there if they haven't already reused it. The geothermic power plant is still there on Isla Sorna as well, and could quite easily still be in use or be repaired to power the island for future experiments. The airstrip is still there, as seen in Jurassic Park 3, and again, a whole host of harbours, etc. The river, the lagoon, is all still there on Isla Sorna. So it is very, very easy for them to either reboot it or repurpose what is already there. All that equipment was still left there from the original evacuation. So in 1998, they obviously went back to the island to create the Spinosaurus in now 9 months and conducted experiments. Surely they would have left their old lab equipment there, or reused some of the equipment which was already there, probably still leaving that behind. So it could quite easily be possible in its current state to be repurposed and reused. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed joining me here in Shadow Labs, where we make better worlds, better dinosaurs, everything imaginable. I'd like to give a massive thanks to my Patreons who are on screen now for supporting me and funding Shadow Labs. Without their support, we wouldn't be making all our dinosaurs and everything we have here in the lab. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in and checking out all the research we have on the channel. Please don't forget to check out all the other videos and research we have on the channel. There's plenty out there for you to sink your teeth into. Anyway, I'm Shadow's head researcher here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, and bye-bye now.